Hi, and welcome to my channel. I'm Lauren, and my pup Zoey decided to join in as well. Today's class is the fourth and final in my series, Yoga for Your Menstrual Cycle. This class focuses on the luteal phase, which is about day 15 to 28 of your cycle. During this phase, your body prepares for a possible pregnancy and progesterone levels rise. So you may feel more tired, bloated, irritable, and so gentle yoga poses and calming breathing exercises may help you feel more balanced and relaxed. This particular class will be a short and sweet, gentle Hatha yoga practice, which means sun and moon. Hatha yoga focuses on slow and mindful movements, combining physical postures and breath control to create balance between these two opposite energies. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe and like button so that you can stay up to date on new classes. Also hit that notification bell and slip into something comfortable so that we can get started here as you unroll your mat. Let's begin sitting cross-legged in Sukhasana, and you can sit on a pillow or a bolster like I am. And for the flow part of the practice, if you want to grab some blocks, not required, but if you would like to, feel free to do that. We're going to start with a pranayama or breath exercise called Nadi Shodhana. This is also known as alternate nostril breathing. And to break apart the two words, Nadi and Shodhana, Shodhana means purification and Nadi means little rivers. So what we're doing here is purifying the little rivers or the channel in which prana or life force flows. So you're going to take your peace fingers in between your eyebrows at your third eye space. And it doesn't matter what arm you're using. I'm using my right arm. And I'm going to take my left hand and support the lifted elbow. Okay, you can always switch your arms if you get tired as well. Close your eyes and draw your attention to the space between your eyebrows at that third eye space. Now, you're going to use your thumb to plug your nostril and then your one side of the nostril. And you'll use your pinky and ring finger to plug the other side of the nostril. Inhale through both nostrils. Hold at the top. And then exhale back out both nostrils. Good. Plug the right nostril. Breathe in through the left. And breathe out through the left. Good. And then switch, plugging the left. Breathe in through the right. And breathe back out the right. Now let's begin alternating. Inhale through the right. Plug the right. Exhale out the left. Inhale through the left. Exhale out the right. Continue on your own and observe which side feels more open than the other. Take 3 more cycles of breath here. Try to balance out the length of your inhales and exhales. And then once you are complete, release both hands to your thighs. Now, if you notice that the left side, left nostril was more open, that may be a sign that you're more connected right now to the moon energy, feminine, calming, grounding, cooling. And if you felt more open on the right side, perhaps you are more connected to the sun energy, masculine, hot, dominant, energizing. And you may have noticed that it changed throughout. So keep in mind that our energy is constantly fluctuating. Take a deep breath in. And big sigh out. Good. Gently blink your eyes open. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. As you exhale, twist to your right. So take your right hand beside you, left hand to the outside of your right thigh, and then take 2 cycles of breath here. If it feels okay in your neck, maybe you peek over your shoulder. Inhale, reach both arms up to the sky. Exhale, twist to your right. Take your right hand behind you, left hand to the outside of that right thigh. Sit up nice and tall, big breath in. Exhale, maybe you twist a tiny bit deeper. If it feels okay in the neck, peek over your right shoulder. Take 2 more cycles of breath. Inhale, reach your right arm up to the sky. Keep your left hand where it is. Exhale, lean to your left, expanding through the right side of the body. And then place the right hand behind your head, elbow wide. Look up towards the sky as you continue leaning to the left. Cross the right arm now on top of the left. You can lift your knees up for a moment here, and then press your knees down as you round your back, guiding your chin towards your chest. You may feel some tension in between the shoulders and down your spine. Inhale, unwind your arms, reach them all the way back up. You can keep the crossing of the ankles. If you want to take this a little deeper, you can cross with the shins. You're going to fold forward and crawl your hands any amount, hinging at your hips. Come all the way back up, and we're going to switch the crossing of the legs. So let's take that to the other side. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, twist to your left. Look over your left shoulder if it feels okay in the neck. And hold here for a total of 3 cycles of breath. Reach your left arm up to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, lean to your right. And then place the left hand behind your head, elbow nice and wide, looking up towards the sky as you continue leaning towards your right. And then come all the way back up. Cross your arms, so your left arm on top here. Push your knees downward as you tuck your chin to your chest, rounding your back. Unwind your arms, reach them up. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Take your hands out in front of you, bowing your head down as you hinge at your hips. And then slowly rise all the way back up. If you're sitting on a pillow or a bolster, you can move it out of the way. And we're going to come onto hands and knees in a tabletop shape. Since a traditional Hatha yoga practice is relatively slow and gentle, we're going to maintain our focus there. As you stack your elbows underneath your shoulders, knees under the hips, come into a cow pose as you inhale, arching your back, pulling the shoulders to the hips as you look up towards the sky. Exhale, cat pose, push the floor away, rounding your back, look towards your belly button. Maybe it feels good to rock your hips back a bit. Keep moving through that on your own. Feel free to add your own little spin to it. So maybe you move a bit side to side. Maybe you turn your fingertips to the side edges of the mat or even towards your knees. Take a couple rounds on your own here. One more round through your cow and your cat. Come all the way back to a neutral spine. Extend your right leg to the back of the mat and rock your body weight forward a bit and back. Just stretching. Rock your body forward and back as you stretch from the bottom of the foot all the way up the back of that right leg. Once more. Good. Then shift your weight forward until the shoulders are over your elbows and your wrists. Kickstand your left foot to your left and open up to your right, coming into a variation of side plank. Push down through your base hand and imagine you're opening a jar to your left. Good. Take a deep inhale. Maybe you reach that top arm overhead as you rainbow your hips to the sky. As you exhale, you're going to come all the way up into gate pose or parigasana, leaning towards your extended leg, your right leg. Let's move through that again. Take your left hand down, inhale, right arm up and overhead. Exhale, come into your parigasana, gate pose. Good. Circle your hands down as you step your right foot outside of your right hand. Take a deep inhale here. Lift your chest up. Maybe you slide your left knee back a bit. So instead of being on the kneecap, you're on the quadricep as you're in this runner's lunge. And then exhale, come into a half split. So crawl the hands back. This is where maybe you want to have some blocks handy. I like to take runner's lunge, especially when I'm experiencing a lot of PMS symptoms, wider than usual. So rotate your right leg outward so that you can get more into the inner thigh, the inner hamstrings, and the groin. Take a deep inhale, look forward. Exhale as you maybe start to fold a bit forward. Good. One more breath in and out. Good. Crawl forward back into that runner's lunge as you lift off your back knee. Reach your right arm up to the sky as you twist. Good. And then take both hands down and step both feet forward nice and wide, coming into a malasana or garland pose. Now, I know coming into a yogi squat like this isn't always comfortable for everyone. So start with your fingertips down on the floor or blocks as you lower your hips towards the ground and just determine based off of your body where you stop. So maybe you stop all the way down towards the ground. Maybe you stop with the hips a little bit higher up. Take a deep breath in here. Think like you're trying to press the knees out and ground into the heel and the ball mound of the feet. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Heel toe your feet about hip width distance apart. Let your head hang as you find a little bit of compression of your belly to your thighs. It feels nice to rock gently side to side. Take a deep breath in and deep breath out. Good. Lift halfway, so fingertips to your shins, the ground, or your blocks. Think like you're guiding the chest and crown of the head forward. Good. Exhale as you take a low lunge. So step your right leg back and then lower the right knee to the floor directly underneath your right hip. At this point, I like to come up onto fingertips or again onto blocks. Then you're going to kick your left leg back. You can then lower your palms flat on the ground. So we're going straight into the second side. Rock your body weight forward and back. Again, forward and back. Nice. I'm actually going to flip to the other side so that I'm still facing you. Hold as you shift your body weight forward until you're stacked with the shoulders over the elbows and wrists. Then kickstand your right foot to the right, open to your left in that side plank. Push down through your base hand, feeling nice and stable. Maybe you add the reach of your top arm overhead as you rainbow your hips to the sky. Take an inhale here. Exhale as you rise all the way up and reach your top arm up and overhead, leaning towards your extended leg. Let's move through that one more time. Inhale. Right hand down, left arm up and overhead. Exhale as you come into your parigasana or gate pose. Nice. Circle your hands to the mat as you take a big step with your left foot outside of your left hand. As you come into your runner's lunge, perhaps you slide your right knee back a bit so you're more on the quadricep versus the kneecap. And again, you're more than welcome to grab your blocks to prop yourself up a bit here. Take an inhale as you lift your chest. As you exhale, crawl your hands back as you lengthen your left leg, keeping your left leg wide and rotating outward. Again, hands can be on the floor or on your blocks. Take an inhale here, guide the chest forward. Exhale, hinge at your hips any amount, feeling that tension in the inner left leg and the back of the left leg. Good. Now crawl forward into that runner's lunge once again. Deep breath in here, lifting off your back knee. As you exhale, step both feet wide, toes out, heels in. Lower your hips any degree that feels supportive and comfortable for you. Maybe you bring your hands to your chest. Take a breath in. Exhale, forward fold Uttanasana. Heel toe your feet about hips width distance apart. Let your head hang. And again, maybe you sway gently side to side. Inhale, lift halfway, fingertips to the floor, blocks or shins. Guide the chest forward. Exhale, low lunge, step your left leg back. Good. Lower your left knee down directly underneath your left hip. You can come up onto your fingertips, onto your blocks. From here, kick your right leg back, and then you're back to where you started with your right leg behind you. Now push into the floor, tuck your toes under, and come into downward facing dog. We're gonna start with this staggered downward facing dog with your left foot a bit in front of your right leg. Take a full breath in and out. Good. Switch. Step the right foot forward a bit, left foot back. So you're staggered here. And then dig your left heel towards the floor. Make sure you're gripping into the mat with your fingertips so you feel more stable. And then step your feet right beside one another, coming into your regular downward facing dog. Push the mat away, lift your hips up and back. Walk your hands to your feet at the back of the mat. Bend your knees, inhale, roll up to stand. Shrug your shoulders back and down, and then turn to face the long edge of your mat. Bring your hands to the hips and step your feet nice and wide. Definitely wider than your shoulders and hips. Your left foot will stay as you pivot on that right heel, turning your right foot towards the shorter end of your mat. So setting up in triangle pose here. Then I like to hinge at the right hip as I pull my hips towards the left and lower my right hand gently to the shin and the top arm up to the sky. You can lower down as far as your body allows, but if you start to lose integrity in the core and just kind of collapse down, then I want you to actually come up a little bit more so you're feeling engagement in the inner thighs and the side obliques to feel stable. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Good. Come all the way up to stand. Inhale, reverse triangle. Reach the right arm up and overhead, keeping both legs lengthened and your backhand gently resting on your back leg. Good. Come all the way back to stand. Turn your feet parallel to one another and let's switch sides. Turn your left foot towards the short edge of the mat. Pull your hips towards the right as you hinge at your left side of the hip and pelvis and reach your right arm up, left hand gently on the left shin. Press down through the left big toe and imagine like you're pulling your feet towards one another as you maintain engagement through the side body. Maybe you look up towards your top hands. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Inhale, reverse triangle. Take your right hand to your back leg, left arm reaching up and overhead. Exhale, come all the way back to stand. Bring your hands to hips and turn your feet parallel to one another. Take a full breath in. Bend the knees, hinge at the hips, and fold forward. Prasarita Padottanasana, hinging at your hips. Then bend your right knee, lengthen your left leg as you come into a skandasana or side lunge. Keep your left hand grounded and reach your right arm up towards the sky. Good, let's switch sides, crawling towards your left foot as you bend your left knee, keeping your feet parallel to one another. Right hand grounds down, reach your left arm up towards the sky. You may feel that pull, that tension on the inner right thigh as you rotate your spine. Good, release both hands down, crawl back through center, heel toe your feet a little closer in as you turn the toes out, heels in, and come back into that malasana garland pose. Hands can come together, maybe they stay on the floor to support you. Take a deep inhale, lift up nice and tall through the crown of the head. Exhale, release the fingertips down, have a seat on your hips. Before we completely close out, I wanted to do a couple more stretches for the hips, rotating in and out. So let's start with deer pose, and then I'll give you some other options from there. So sitting on your right hip, turn your left leg inward. From here, you can fold over your right leg. I like to start with my chest wherever the knee is pointing, and then you can always adjust your upper body from there, okay? So that's kind of a baseline. If you want to try another variation, which I find is a little more in-depth, it would be a pigeon. So you can take your right shin kind of parallel to the front edge of the mat, but it doesn't need to be so rigid, okay? So it's okay if it's not perfect. Then extend your left leg behind you, okay, as you turn to face that short edge of your mat. Take an inhale as you lift your chest up if you're in that pigeon variation. Exhale, fold forward. Now, there's no right or wrong, just as I mentioned at the beginning, right? Sometimes it's necessary to give yourself permission to go through all those feelings that sometimes we deem as negative or bad. The same is true in our yoga practice. It's sometimes we need to experience and to go through trial and error of what works, what doesn't work, knowing that our body and our energy is constantly changing. So, this may feel really good in my body today, but maybe another day I want to try this deer pose variation, okay? So give yourself another breath wherever you are. All right, slowly press back up. If you're in your pigeon, let's meet back in deer. So leaning on your right hip, turning your left leg inward. All right, let's switch to the other side. So you can just do a little windshield wiper of the legs. We'll all start in deer, and then I'll give you the option to add on or to adjust where you'd like. So you can stay in this deer pose position with your legs turned towards your left. Then you can fold over your left thigh. That might be plenty. If you would like to go into pigeon, then turn your shin towards parallel to the side edge of the mat, and then extend your right leg back from there. Don't get too fixated on the parallel part, okay? So just aiming your chest to face towards that short edge of the mat. Then inhale, lift your chest up. Exhale as you fold forward. Hold here for a couple breaths. And then slowly press back up, leaning towards the left hip as you take both legs back into that cross-legged shape. Relax your hands on your thighs, bring your eyes to a close. Take a slow inhalation through the nose here, cleansing breath out. Do that again, inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Once more, inhale through your nose. Hold, and big exhale. Notice how you feel in the work of your practice today. As you feel ready to move forward into the rest of the day, gently blink your eyes open. Awesome work today. Thank you so much for joining in on this class. I know it was very short and sweet and gentle, but very intentional in helping to manage those PMS symptoms Lots of different forms of rotation, of opening through the inner thighs, the hamstrings, and the hips to alleviate, especially if you have any aches or pains in that lower back or side body region, which I know I get a lot. So I hope you enjoyed today's class, this particular practice, but I hope you enjoyed all the classes in this series to help with your menstrual cycle. And as you're going through it, you can come back to these classes time and time again whenever you're feeling like you need to reconnect with your body and yourself. When you feel like you're being stretched too thin in so many different directions, you can reconnect and ground in your body and in your practice. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, and I will see you next time.